My name is Anne-Marie Stieritz. I serve as the President and CEO of Liberty Fellowship. Liberty Fellowship is the premier leadership program in South Carolina that focuses on bringing together a diversity of perspective among leaders to really focus on addressing the biggest challenges that we face as a state. Once one is accepted as a Liberty Fellow, one actually is a fellow for life, we say. This is a long-term commitment that leaders make to the state and to one another for moving the state forward. We start with the core program, which is 5 days of seminars of approximately 5 days each that take place over the course of 18 to 24 months. And one of those brings in a global context. Fellows are also required during that initial core period to take on a personal leadership venture that really helps them think and test the ideas of where do they want their impact to be, broadly speaking. They've achieved success in their professional capacities, but what then? What happens? And how do you use the platforms and the resources that you've developed to help us move our state forward? Liberty Fellowship identifies fellows through a nomination process, and anyone can nominate a fellow. If you go to our website at libertyfellowshipsc.org, you can go to the nominate and you will see the nomination form. Everyone has to be nominated, but a fellow cannot self-nominate. But it is open to anyone that knows a leader that they believe is modeling what kind of leadership do we want to see in South Carolina and how do we move forward. We go through a rigorous interview process once we have nominees, and we do that every 2 years. So we're going through, and we are not sector specific. About 76% of our fellows across the state are from the private sector, about 12% are from the public sector, and about 12% from the nonprofit social sector. So we're looking for that broad-based experience, and we draw from all areas of the state. You know, it's so important in these times to be thinking about, with our cultural shifts, with our business challenges that we're facing, with a globalizing context, for South Carolina to really be investing in leaders that are thinking about how do we remain competitive, and we're willing to be in conversation with one another about how to do that. The program, the initial seminar program, is free of charge to fellows. This is a front-end investment that we're making into the future of South Carolina through these leaders. And to date, of our over 330 fellows across South Carolina, 87% of them have stayed in the state. So we know this is bringing returns in terms of not only who these fellows are and in terms of keeping talent in the state, but also in terms of the impact then that they're bringing out to whatever community or they happen to serve or whatever organization they are leading. Liberty Fellowship is currently taking nominations for our next cohort of fellows. So we'll be about 20 fellows selected from what is a nomination pool of usually about 500 people from around the state. So it is highly competitive and highly selective, but get those names in before July 1. That is the hard deadline by which we must receive nominations, and then we will move into summer and fall with our selection and interview process, as well as then announcing the final class in December of this year.